watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Live at 4 on this Tuesday afternoon. Brady is feeling a little under the weather this afternoon, so Sarah Carlson is filling in today. How are you doing?
I'm great. My pleasure to be here. It's been a chilly one, man.
Are you loving it or are you dreading it?
I was dreading it until my dog ran me, as I like to say. I didn't walk her. 2 miles today.
They love this weather.
She loves the weather, so someone had to, and I got my workout in.
And there is more of that to come. Boy, today is almost the mild day, believe it or not. Things are going to get colder from here. Meteorologist Jacob Montesano joins us with the forecast. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Susan. We are going to see temperatures get even colder for later in the week. But before I mention that, I do want to talk about the fact that we are continuing to see just some very light flurries for parts of the area, despite the fact that nothing's showing up on the radar. We are seeing continuous cloud cover, which is leading to these very light flurries. And then we'll see a little bit more consistent snowfall overnight, mainly for areas to the north of Madison. Not expected to bring a lot of accumulation, if any, and that will clear out pretty early on Wednesday. And Wednesday will be an interesting day temperature-wise. Now, right now, we're seeing those temperatures in the lower 20s, easily below normal for this time of the year. Some areas have been hanging on to the upper teens throughout the entire day, but temperatures will actually rise a little bit overnight as we see these temperatures by the morning tomorrow. They'll be in the middle 20s, but then they're going to fall during the afternoon tomorrow. So rising overnight, falling during the day. We'll see temperatures in the lower 20s by sunset versus the middle to upper 20s around sunrise. And once we get to Wednesday night, the temperatures are going to continue to fall, and that's where we have our alert day in the forecast. So I'll talk more in detail about just how cold these temperatures are going to get coming up a bit later.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jacob. And today is Giving Tuesday, a day where nonprofit organizations around the world ask that you give back.
And this year, the Dane County Humane Society is making a big push so that they can help animals in need. Our Jalen Banks stopped by there earlier today and has more on what they hope to accomplish.
This Giving Tuesday, the Dane County Humane Society is looking to have its largest Giving Tuesday yet to help the animals of Dane County in need. The Dane County Humane Society is hoping to raise over $100,000 for animals in need this Giving Tuesday. They've already secured a $70,000 matching gift to help bolster donations. That means if you donate for Giving Tuesday, your donation will be equally matched, effectively doubling how much you give. Donations to the DCHS help support their open admission shelter, accepting all animals that need assistance despite their age, health, or temperament, and prepare them for any need that may come through their doors. Their goal for donations is $140,000.
This is one of our biggest fundraising days of the entire year. Rely mostly on the donor support. So in order to be able to do what we do, and we don't want to have to cut any sort of service. We want to be able to meet the needs of the animals.
Whether it's the Humane Society or another organization, the Better Business Bureau has a few tips to keep in mind to avoid scams. 1, get the organization's exact name. 2, check all websites for basics. And 3, resist pressure to give on the spot. Keep these tips in mind this Giving Tuesday and any time you want to donate. For more on how to donate or to get involved with the Dane County Humane Society, you can find that information on our website. For now, reporting in Madison, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Jalen. Former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes is running for governor. Barnes served 2 terms in the Assembly. He also ran alongside Governor Evers, becoming the state's first black lieutenant governor. He left that position to run for U.S. Senate, trying to unseat incumbent Senator Ron Johnson. Barnes lost by 1% of the vote.
So here's the reality check. The only way for our state to move forward is to reject the Washington way and get things done the Wisconsin way. It isn't about left or right. It's not about who can yell the loudest. It's about whether people can afford to live in the state they call home.
Barnes joined 7 other Democrats and 2 Republicans in the crowded race. The primary is set for August 11th.
Well, building affordable housing in Wisconsin just got a little easier. The State Public Service Commission updated one of its rules that critics argued was red tape on clean energy projects.
Our Ellie LaLiberte joins us now in the studio. And Ellie, what is this rule and what will the change do?
Well, Sarah and Susan, Rule 113 in Wisconsin requires that every every unit in an apartment building must have an individual electric meter. Now that means every tenant has their own individual electric bill. And up until this week, there were very few exceptions to that rule. But now affordable housing projects won't need to install a meter in every unit. Now, Clean Wisconsin, an environmental advocacy agency, claimed the rule as it stood was also a barrier to newer technology like solar projects and drove up costs.
This matters because there is a housing affordability crisis. There's an energy affordability crisis. There are these new cutting-edge technologies, highly efficient air source heat pumps, induction stoves, rooftop solar. All of these technologies are getting cheaper and cheaper and can help reduce your energy bills over time.
Now, the Public Service Commission has been working on updating this rule since 2023, and this summer the state Supreme Court ruled in favor of the governor, so now a joint committee in the legislature cannot unilaterally block administrative rules. Now, I also talked with a developer today who told me that this change will save his project of converting a hotel into an apartment building $2 to $3 million. Now, you can hear how that could trickle down to the consumer tonight at 5.
All right, thank you, Ellie. In other news, the River Food Pantry is seeing increased demand for food as food insecurity continues beyond the holidays. As we said about before, today is Giving Tuesday, and the pantry is raising funds for frozen proteins and fresh produce with a $25,000 matching opportunity for donors. The organization is also planning to move to a new, larger facility at the end of next January. Now, that will help expand programs and offer more space for staff, volunteers, and clients.
Food insecurity isn't here just for a couple of days here and there. Food insecurity is here, and it's continued. So we had a very, very busy week last week and the week before, but we continue to see numbers increasing every day. And so today there's 2 lines out there all the way to the street, and that'll continue, we imagine, for the rest of this week and for the rest of this year.
The pantry depends on donations to continue serving the community. All details for supporting their work can be found at riverfoodpantry.org. Volunteers like Michelle Ogilvie say the staff's dedication and the welcoming environment create a compassionate community where everyone is treated with dignity and respect.
Well, it is December, and that means an annual tradition is going to be steaming across the state. The Canadian Pacific and Kansas City Southern Holiday Train is back on tracks this year and making its way through our area once again. The locomotive will be putting on live concerts. Don't forget Santa Claus in the final car, and it will be raising money for community food banks. The holiday train is making 13 stops at different stations across the state over the course of 3 days. All of the events are free, but guests are encouraged to bring food or cash donations to help those in need this holiday season. Here's the schedule if you want to see the holiday train, as some of the stops come through our area, including Columbus. That will be next Wednesday. It's a 9:15 p.m. arrival. Next Thursday, the train makes stops in Portage, the Dells, Mauston, and Tomah, and the train will make its way out of the state after an 8:30 arrival in La Crosse on its journey that crosses the U.S. and parts of Canada. Have you ever seen that before?
I haven't before.
It's incredible.
It looks pretty cool. We have that video to prove it.
Yes. Next on Live at 4, we'll hear about a business in Madison that is offering chances to donate toys to brighten kids' holidays, and we'll talk about some of the dangers this year parents should know about that come with AI toys.
Very interesting. And then a power outage left skiers and snowboarders stranded. Look at this at a Wisconsin ski resort. One of those trapped on the lift tells us about her experience.
And then our senior Packers writer Jason Wilde talks about how the green and gold need to regroup before they face the Chicago Bears this weekend after another big injury.
And just after the break, Jacob is back with how cold it will get on an upcoming alert day. Stay with us. Welcome back to Live at 4, everyone. It's time for that first warn weather, and Weather is what we're all talking about, because what's going on here, Jacob?
Well, what's going on is that early December is feeling more like the middle of January. And for the most part, these cold temperatures are not going anywhere. As we take a look at the 3 things you need to know, we'll see some light snow tonight, mainly for areas north of Madison, with bitterly cold temperatures Thursday. And although it will warm up a little bit from there, temperatures are expected to stay below normal going forward. Now let's start with that snowfall forecast again. Some very light snow is possible later tonight for areas north of Madison. Might see about a ½ inch of accumulation, but in general, the snow that we saw yesterday will likely will have been more snow yesterday than what we're going to see tonight. And even yesterday only produced about 1 inch of snow for parts of the area. And then as we get towards Wednesday morning, a lot of that will clear out. Maybe some lingering flurries at times, but for the most part, tomorrow will be dry, especially once we get towards the afternoon. But then those clouds will break up a little bit, become more partly cloudy Wednesday night, which will allow those temperatures to fall. Now, as far as accumulation goes, again, we're probably only going to see about a ½ inch at most. A lot of the area will only see a dusting, and parts of the area may not see any snow at all. Now let's talk about those temperatures. We do have an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday night into Thursday morning, with those wind chills expected to get as cold as -20. So looking at the wind chills right now, they're in the lower teens to single digits, and that's been the case all day. It has remained very cold, but the wind chills will actually improve a little bit as we get towards Wednesday morning. Wind chills around 20, but then they're going to fall dramatically later in the day Wednesday. It'll be a bit breezy. The wind's not too bad, but with the temperatures being as cold as they're expected to be, just a little bit of wind will create these very cold wind chills. And take a look at the wind chills once we get towards Thursday morning. We're going to talk about wind chills possibly in the -20s for some areas. So definitely bundle up on your way to work or school for Thursday morning, because these temperatures can be fairly dangerous if you are outside for a prolonged period of time. Now, throughout the day on Wednesday, the wind chills are only really going to improve to about 0 to 5 degrees above 0. And then they're going to drop back below 0 for Thursday night into Friday morning. But although it will be cold, it won't be quite as cold for Friday. But in general, we're going to see those temperatures remain below normal going forward, with high temperatures continuously in the 20s, maybe some lower 30s next week. But those lower 30s still below normal, as the average highs in the upper 30s for this time of the year. And the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook shows those colder than average temperatures expected to continue. Now, we're not going to see a ton of snowfall over the next 10 days. Small chances of snow here and there. We could see that small chance of snow tonight into tomorrow. Another small chance of snow over the weekend. A little bit of a better snow chance for early next work week, but a lot could still change between now and then. But these temperatures, being as cold as they are, will allow the snow that's on the ground to not go anywhere. Now, it may gradually melt a little bit, but for the most part, expect that snowfall that's already on the ground to stick around, but we're not going to see much more additional snowfall, at least for the rest of this week.
Well, that's certainly good news for the area ski hills. Gives you a chance to get out and enjoy this snow if it'll stick around for a while. Thank you, Jacob. And speaking of, this is a skier's worst nightmare. It was opening day at the Sunburst Ski Hill in Kewaskum when the main chairlift abruptly stopped because of a power outage.
That sounds awful. And that left 14 people stranded mid-air. Reporter Pavlina Asta has the story.
On Sunburst Ski Hill's opening day, a partial power outage affected the entire town and village of Kewaskum and left 14 people stranded here on the chairlift.
I was definitely creeped out. I remember texting my dad and I was like, I think something just happened.
This is the moment Kenley Yap was rescued off the lift.
It stopped once and then they got it going and then it stopped again and then they got it going. And then the third time it just stopped and then the lights were flickering on the lift. So I was like, oh, okay.
She says she was one of the last to get down.
It was, dare I say, cool. I mean, I was very cold, but they handled it really well and they were really good at talking you through it.
On the scene, Kewaskum Fire Captain Jeff Beekle helped evacuate 5 of the 14 skiers.
One of them was pretty nervous, but they did very well. We talked them through it.
Kewaskum Assistant Fire Chief James Warnke says this operation is second nature for him and his team.
November 20th, we do an annual training with the ski facility on this exact type of scenario, and it was put to practice, let's just say, at the incident.
When the department got the call, they say Sunburst originally thought they had an equipment failure.
The power outage was the main culprit of it. We then used our auxiliary motors, and unfortunately one of the clutches decided that it wanted to give up the ghost partway through.
Yap says this experience isn't going to stop her from hopping back on the lift.
I feel like the nice thing about Sunburst is, like, even if you are stuck, it's not like you're in the middle of nowhere, and like the hill's not that big, so yeah, I'm not really too scared.
Wood says the lift has been repaired and they will continue to test the chairlift to make sure everything is running smoothly. In Kewaskum, I'm Pavlina Asta, CBS 58 News.
Well, the entire group was brought to the ground within about 40 minutes, and luckily no injuries were reported.
Well, to some sports now. A major injury is sending shockwaves throughout the Packers defense.
Our senior Packers writer Jason Wilde tells us how other players on the team are filling in the spaces.
We told you yesterday that Matt LaFleur made it official the Packers will be without their defensive tackle Devontae Wyatt for the remainder of the season. His ankle injury he suffered on Thanksgiving is indeed season-ending. That means that some of their younger defensive tackles will have to step up starting on Sunday against a Chicago Bears run game that put up 281 yards in their win over the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles on Friday. One of those young players is Warren Brinson, a rookie 6th-round pick out of Georgia that will be counted on for major snaps.
He's earned more opportunity, and I think that's a credit to him. And I think DC and VO and Wendell all do a great job with that room. And so he's earned those ops.
We'll see how Brinson and the rest of the Packers run defense fares on Sunday against the Bears. It will be a key to the Packers winning that game. We'll have full coverage of that story and everything else Packers Bears on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for the Packers newsletter, which delivers that coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Thank you, Jason. And coming up on Live at 4, the DNR is offering an update about this year's deer hunting season.
And our Chris Stanford takes a look at the changing education landscape in our state and how students are now picking their career paths. The numbers on Wall Street today, we're taking a look. It is green across the board. The Dow is up 185 points. The Nasdaq is up 137 and the S&P 500 gained 17.
Well, these days, about 1 in 4 Americans say a 4-year college degree really isn't worth it if you have to take out a loan.
And this has led to more students looking at other career pathways such as the trades, which need them now more than ever. Our Chris Stanford has been looking into the impacts of this trend, and here's what he found.
Sydney Kaysen is figuring out if she has what it takes to cut it in construction. The Waunakee senior is a carpentry apprentice, splitting her time between the classroom and the job site.
Really wanted to use my hands and see what I'm building instead of sitting in an office for 8 hours every day.
Sydney was already taking construction classes. Then she joined the school's youth apprenticeship program.
I struggled figuring out what I actually wanted to do with my life and see where I was going to go. I didn't know what I was going to go to college for.
Waunakee's apprenticeship program is growing. This year, they placed their most students ever with local employers.
It is definitely growing. There's an interest from families and students who see value in a work environment like this.
McGlynn says they have 13 students currently enrolled in the school's construction pathways, learning carpentry, electrical, and plumbing skills.
I'm the person who will sit across from them and ask them what they want. Stop thinking about what your parents might want. Stop thinking about what everybody says you should do and think about what your dreams are and what you want to do with your life.
For Sydney, the on-the-job training is crucial.
I've definitely learned a lot of skills that are going to be very useful throughout my life.
Every day on the job site is like a building block for Sydney's future, but she's also helping rebuild an industry that needs her.
To keep up with demand, Associated Builders and Contractors estimates the construction industry needs to attract more than 400,000 new workers.
The industry is aging, so in order to replace all of those people that have earned their retirement and deserve that, we're going to have to replace them with new workers.
Part of their pitch is the pay. The average starting apprentice wage in Dane County is about $18.50 an hour. After completing a 3 to 5 year program, it's more than $43 an hour.
Really, the sky's the limit for people coming into the construction industry. great wages, no debt coming out of the apprenticeship program.
Employers like Vogel Construction know what's at stake.
When you're short of craft workers and skilled trades, it's hard to get jobs complete on time. It's just the nature of it.
As for Sydney,
I think right now it's just setting me up for knowing exactly what I want to do and where I want to go.
the job site isn't just work, it's a glimpse of the future she's building for herself. In Wanakee, Chris Stanford, News 3 Now.
Thanks so much, Chris. And if you're interested in pursuing a career in the trades, here's what you can do. First, identify a trade that you might be interested in, like carpentry, plumbing, electrical, or HVAC. Second, make sure you meet the minimum requirements. Most apprenticeships require a high school diploma or equivalent. And third, find a sponsor or employer. You can apply for an apprenticeship through a contractor, union, or a training committee.
Good luck to Sydney. Can't wait to see where she ends
very
up.
cool.
Thank you, Chris. Coming up on Live at 4, one of the largest winter gear swaps in the state is this weekend. We'll tell you where and when.
Then the debate over data centers is far from over. We hear from those voicing their concerns through the state.
And alert day cold conditions are making their way into our area. If you think it's cold now, it's going to get worse later this week. And Jacob will tell us more in the First Warn forecast.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Welcome back to Live at 4, everybody. Brady is off today. Sarah Carlson, we got the blue memo.
We match, and we've got the snow falling behind us.
Yes,
Oh,
and
boy.
the cold. Boy, let's take a look outside today. You know, you have to just embrace this weather. Get outside and enjoy it. You did that today with taking a 2-mile run with the dog. The weather.
2 miles. Did you say hour?
Did I say hours?
I don't know. It felt like 2 hours.
I bet. The weather words today, bitter cold soon. So this is not the bitter cold, Jacob?
No, it's going to get colder a little bit later in the week, specifically Wednesday night into Thursday, where we do have that alert day in the forecast, as wind chills are expected to drop to near negative 20 degrees at times. Actual lows will be below zero as well. Now, looking at the current temperatures, lower 20s right now, some areas in the teens. It certainly has been a cold one outside. These temperatures very easily below normal, but overnight they're actually going to rise just a little bit, with temperatures by tomorrow morning being in the middle to upper 20s. And then once we get to the day tomorrow, those temperatures that are going to rise overnight, they're actually going to fall throughout the day. As we take a look at the temperature forecast, we're going to end up in the lower 20s to upper teens by the time we get to the evening, and then they're just going to continue to fall from there for Wednesday night. Like I mentioned, Wednesday night is the night that we are going to be in that alert day. We also will see some snow before then, and as we take a look at the snowfall forecast for overnight, we are going to see some light snow showers, especially for areas north of Madison, but not really going to bring much accumulation, maybe a ½ inch at most. And with the snow already on the ground, it may not be very noticeable. So still going to be very winter-like the next couple of days. And in general, the winter-like temperatures, they're not going to go anywhere. But I'll talk more in detail about that alert day and show you the extended temperature and snowfall forecast coming up a bit later.
Yeah, those temperatures are no joke. All right, Jacob, thank you. Wisconsin officials have released the final numbers from this year's 9-day gun deer hunt. The DNR says it was stable participation with about 550,000 hunters taking part. Buck registrations dipped a little bit, down 2.5% compared to last year. The antlerless harvest actually increased, though, by 1%. Officials say the weather was challenging, including that significant snowstorm in the southern farmland zone. That impacted some hunters, but overall, harvest levels are stable. Safety remains the main focus. There were only 2 incidents this year. One was fatal, unfortunately. That was recorded earlier this season.
That slight decline in gun license sales is almost totally made up for in a slight increase in both versions of archery license sales.
The DNR says about 50,000 Wisconsin deer hunters are now exclusively archers. Hunters registered about 182,000 deer. 86,000 were antlered, 90,000 were antlerless.
Well, one of the Midwest's largest ski swaps is returning to Union South on the UW-Madison campus this weekend. The Hoofer Ski and Snowboard Club will host its 61st annual winter gear resale. This offers discounted new and gently used skis, snowboards, boots, and apparel for all ages. The place to go. People looking to sell equipment can drop them off up to 10 items Thursday or Friday, and club members will then provide waxing and tuning services during the sale. Proceeds support the student-run club and its Alpine, Nordic, and freestyle teams. The event runs Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then again Sunday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, this is at Union South Varsity Hall.
It's always a great event. Last night, over 100 residents filled the chambers of the Kenosha Common Council to urge city leaders there to stop the planned Microsoft data center project on a 240-acre site.
Yeah, they cited concerns of water use, energy, and environmental protections. Andy Bernhardt reports.
Concerned Kenosha residents braving the snow to take a stand against the proposed Microsoft data center in the city.
It's going to impact their everyday life. It's going to impact, as I said, the water that they drink, the air that they breathe. We want to make sure that the data center that is going to be able to be accountable to the pollution that it's putting out into the environment, and that the residents' health can be protected in that process.
Bogdala says the data center is expected to use 4,500 gallons of water a day, saying that's the equivalent of what a restaurant would use on a yearly basis.
4,500 gallons is equivalent to 10 City of Kenosha homes. So again, I think the impact there is very minimal.
And as the proposal moves forward, critics and environmental advocacy groups have highlighted the broader trend of data center expansion across our state, calling for greater transparency regarding projected water withdrawals, energy consumption, and long-term ecological effects.
Well, the annual Farm and Fleet Toy Drive is underway officially, where community members can help make the holidays brighter for local children in need. Donations pour in from customers and are matched by Farm and Fleet, making a big impact in neighborhoods across the area. The collected toys benefit families served by numerous local police departments, including the Dane County Sheriff, Madison Police Department, McFarland, and Sun Prairie, all ensuring that children in need are not forgotten.
Every kid deserves some toys under the tree, okay? Even the ones that are a little bit naughty, that's okay, right? But, you know, it's great to have a community that supports, and we are getting a lot of donations. However, it's not quite as many as we've had in the years past.
So in addition to toys, clothing donations like hats, gloves, jackets, and boots are also accepted. And then on December 12th, coming up soon, local police officers will arrive to collect these donations. Farm and Fleet's matching program will donate up to $250,000 in toys across 45 stores.
And speaking of toys, the Wisberg Foundation is warning parents about a growing number of dangerous toys on the market. Their 40th annual Trouble in Toyland report highlights a troubling rise in counterfeit and recalled products that are making their way into homes, sometimes long after the toys are pulled from store shelves. Parents are urged to be diligent when choosing gifts. Over 150,000 toy-related injuries are treated in the U.S. in emergency rooms each year. And this year, the new threat is AI-enabled toys, which may lack safety controls and collect sensitive information.
The Kuma Bear, when we were testing it, told our researchers about a wide variety of dangerous or adult topics. The bear would advise users of typical places in a house that they might be able to find pills or matches or knives. And the toy even went as far as to give step-by-step instructions on how to light a match.
Oh, there he is again. To keep children safe, experts say always research products, check for recalls, and consider the child's age and developmental stage. Avoid toys with small parts or strong magnets, and as we just said, be very cautious with those new AI toys.
And they
it's a
can
brave
be
new world.
Scary looking too.
Yeah.
All right, next on Live at 4, Dr. Jeff Potoff with UW Health is in studio to talk about the new WHO guidance surrounding GLP-1 weight loss drugs.
And it's a winter wonderland at the Milwaukee Zoo. We'll take a look at the big cats as they play in the snow.
We're taking a live look right now at De Winton in Alberta, Canada. Beautiful. The weather there, 34 degrees with some snow. Sounds balmy. The population is less than 100. This small community played a major role in World War II, offering a Royal Canadian Air Force training school to help with the Allied war effort.
Oh, very interesting.
Beautiful, too. Well, these are the most talked about pharmaceuticals of the last few years. We've been just talking about it during the commercial break. GLP-1s are diabetes drugs that are exploding in popularity because they also help everybody lose weight.
Yep, and now the World Health Organization is recommending GLP-1 medications for adults who are trying to manage obesity. So you may be wondering, is a GLP-1 right for you? UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff is here for his weekly visit. Hi, Dr. Potoff, good to see you.
Good, thanks for being here.
So this is really the topic du jour. I was just saying at my Thanksgiving table, there were probably 4 or 5 people at the table. They're all taking GLP-1s. It seems like everyone you know is. What is the significance of this World Health Organization recommendation? Does it mean now if you don't have diabetes, anyone can get a GLP-1?
Well, not so much, but I think what happens when the World Health Organization says things like this, which is, in addition to diet and exercise, they're not saying forgo those things. They're saying these medications can be helpful as a long-term strategy. Countries then change some of their health policy to say, you know what, we need to be thinking about weight loss as a bigger problem than just like, you're eating too much and you're exercising too little. There could be other things going on that these medications could help. I think on the pro side, that could help inform health policy. You might see more attention towards these drugs used in weight loss. 2, it could help in reducing the price. Like right now, these drugs are really expensive, sometimes $1,000 a month, which is quite a price to pay if you've got other things you need to afford. I think on the con, it could send this message that like, wait a minute, I can eat my ultra processed foods. I don't have to exercise. I don't have to worry about my diet. All I got to do is take more, Ozempic, Wegovy, things like that.
So I'm sorry, do you need to have a diabetes diagnosis in order to get a GLP-1?
Well, not necessarily. So to often be covered under insurance, a medication has to be have a proven indication that it works. So that's why you see these companies doing lots of studies to say, you know what, GLP-1s work great for diabetes. They have used GLP-1s for weight loss. They are usually under a different, brand name, but they're the same medications. But then you have to have a BMI that's like really high. I think where we're seeing people use these medications is they aren't necessarily morbidly obese, but they go online and they get, one of these companies to send them the medication. Lots of times they're paying out of pocket for that, and it will help you reduce weight.
Is that medication that they're just getting sent online legal and legit?
Well,
if it wasn't written by a prescription by their doctor?
I think it's probably, it's legal. It's not illegal to do that, but you do have to wonder, like, where is this stuff getting sourced from? Like, what quality controls are these medications going through? I think it's always better to maybe go through your healthcare provider, because there's other people who say, you know what, I did my own research and I think I need to be on this medication, when maybe you don't.
And what we didn't ask yet is, how do they work? It's very complicated, but it seems to be easy.
And do they all work the same?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know which one that you should take?
Yeah, all these GLPs are relatively the same. So a lot of it is, which one your insurance covers or which one you can get the cheapest. Some are a little bit more effective than others, but it's just a matter of a few percentage points. Largely speaking, they basically make you not feel like you're hungry. So you don't eat. They do some other things with insulin and how it works in the body, but they are legitimately effective. Most people who take them will lose some weight. There are a fair number of people, especially as you increase the dose though, that will get side effects. They can cause pretty bad nausea and vomiting, a little bit of abdominal pain. So it's not like they're 100% free lunch. That's why it's always best to use these medications under the direction of a physician. So you kind of know what you're getting into, what to look for, when to use them, when maybe to do other things.
So are they slowing your metabolism?
Not so much slowing your metabolism. Your body would still process your calories the same way, but there's parts of our brain that just make us feel hungry. I think we all get the munchies sometimes, and especially with like super yummy, ultra-processed foods, they kind of take that desire away and you find yourself not eating as much.
Interesting.
But do you think people, like everybody will say, well, I want one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, where do we draw the line?
Like if I was I just said, I'd like to lose 20 pounds. Can I have one?
Right.
Are you dealing with that with patients?
I think a lot of it's out there. There's a lot of people on these medications, even without talking to their physician. I think the important message to weave through here is you might be able to lose weight, but I think if you're not eating well and you're not exercising, I don't know if those benefits that we see as far as reduction in heart disease, reduction in diabetes, things like that, I don't know if they carry over. There's lots of reasons why we need to eat healthy and exercise and not just take a medicine. There is no magic pill yet.
Right, and we always hope there will be, but it's a good idea to check with your doctor.
Talk to your doctor.
Do the right things there. Thank you.
Very interesting. Thanks, Dr. Potoff. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys too.
Let's head over to the Weather Center now. Jacob is watching the forecast. Is there still a little of that light snow out there tonight?
Well, we are going to see some more light snow develop later in the night. Right now, it's hard to tell. The radar hasn't really been showing snow, but there have been some on and off light flurries for parts of the area today. A little bit more consistent light snow tonight, but still very, very minor accumulation, even less so compared to yesterday's snowfall. But the big story right now, at least going forward, will be those bitterly cold temperatures Thursday. And beyond Thursday, temperatures are going to remain below normal. Now, let's look at that snowfall chance, because once we get towards the later overnight hours, we'll see some snow showers move into areas north of Madison. Places to the south still could see some falling snow, but the chance of snow will be pretty small for areas south, and some locations may not see any snow at all. And even those that do, again, not going to see a lot of accumulation. And beyond that, the snow chances are going to be pretty minor. A few small chances of snow here and there, a little bit of a better snow chance for next week. But right now, we are not expecting anything big snowfall-wise in the forecast. But we are expecting some very cold temperatures, easily the coldest air we're going to see this season so far. Obviously, we're probably going to see 1 or 2 days colder than this eventually, but looking at the wind chill forecast, they are expected to drop to around -20, at least into the teens. Now, right now, we're seeing wind chills in the lower teens to single digits. It actually will improve a little bit as we get towards Wednesday morning, but throughout the day Wednesday, it'll actually get worse. And then once we get towards Wednesday evening, we're going to have wind chills below 0, and then they're going to continue to fall from there. Wind chills in the negative teens to lower -20s for Thursday morning. This bitter cold will be potentially dangerous if you are going to be outside for a prolonged period of time. So definitely bundle up if you are in that situation. And even in the afternoon Thursday, they're going to be right around 0 with below 0 wind chills again for Thursday night. And then from there, the temperatures are going to improve a little bit, but still remain easily below normal. Highs in the 20s to lower 30s, and the average high is in the middle 30s for this time of the year. So that is really the big story going forward. Again, not any big snows in the forecast, but there are a few chances of some light snow showers that at this point in time are not expected to produce any accumulation. But as I continue talking about with these cold temperatures, the snow that's already on the ground will stick around, as it's going to be way too cold for it to melt.
All right, thank you, Jacob. Coming up after the break, it is beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Elton John is crossing another major milestone. A new country Christmas album is out, and we look at the first snow of Fraggle Rock in the Hollywood Minute.
Watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Well, December just started, but in the entertainment world, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
David Daniel sees what's under the tree in today's Hollywood Minute.
Elton John's Yuletide classic Step Into Christmas is officially platinum. The Recording Industry Association of America has certified the 1973 song has sold more than 1 million copies. It's triple platinum in the UK, where it's re-entered the charts every December since 2011.
Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland.
Lady A is out with their first new Christmas album in more than a decade. The country pop trio is supporting On This Winter Night Volume 2 with their first ever Christmas tour, launching Friday in Atlanta, Georgia.
Let's start the holidays! I can't wait for the snow!
Here's your first look at the first snow of Fraggle Rock. Gobo heads to outer space, the human world, looking for inspiration for his annual holiday song. The first snow of Fraggle Rock falls Friday on Apple TV. Making hot chocolate in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And finally at 4, 2 lions made the most of a new feature in their enclosure at a Milwaukee County zoo, a fresh coat of snow, of course.
The zoo posted this footage of the pair wrestling and prancing around the transformed enclosure, which it described as its very own winter wonderland. According to the National Weather Service, the snow began falling, as you know, across southern Wisconsin on the afternoon of December 1st and continued in the zoo throughout the evening. We were just talking about how the animals just get energized by the snow. Do you have a dog, Jacob?
Oh, yeah, and she's a husky, so she loves it. Yeah.
So she
They
loves
need this weather.
Yeah, she's crazy about it.
They help us get out there, but man, it's been tough.
Yeah.
So we were also talking about favorite Christmas songs, because you heard some of those songs. And mine, Bing Crosby. Am I saying it correctly that the name of the song is Mele Kalikimaka?
Yes.
Because it's, okay.
Did you hear Alex?
Alex would know. Somehow that was my favorite song as a kid.
I love it
and
too.
remains so today. And I know all the words.
It's good weather.
What about you?
Yeah.
I love that one too. Oh God, don't put me on the spot of my favorite Christmas song.
Okay, do you have one?
Probably Jingle Bell Rock. That's a classic. But anything I love anything by Michael Bublé for Christmas.
Oh, I
He's
know.
got a great voice.
I forgot about him.
Good choice.
Yeah, and we're going to be listening to a lot of that Christmas music, not just because it's December, but because it feels like Christmas, as we've been talking about. Very cold temperatures going forward. Not a lot of big snows in the forecast, but we're going to continue to see the snow that has already fallen. Stick around with these temperatures. Alert Day Thursday specifically for those very cold temperatures. Thursday morning, could see wind chills near -20.
All right, Jacob, thank you. We'll be right back. Tomorrow on Live at 4, December is a big month at the Overture Center for the Arts. Our guest will be here. We'll talk about all of the events and shows taking the stage this month of December. And straight ahead tonight at 5, the United States and Venezuela are inching closer to an armed conflict. We'll hear the latest from the White House. That'll do it for this Tuesday on Live at 4. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we hope to see you back here tomorrow. You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.